You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm my friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. You roll with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lanes. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, all wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And we got with us again the number one safety and his parents, his mom, Nicole, with us right now. Bralan, Womack. Bralan, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. How about y'all?
Doing good, man. Blessed. Nicole, how about yourself?
We doing good. Doing good.
Yeah. Mello, you still there, dude? You hiding in the background? How you... He's literally not here anymore. So Mello just disappeared. He'll come back in just for everybody watching. Mello's driving, right? So up and he's back in. Mello, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. Yeah, how you doing, dude?
My fault. Man, I'm on the road driving. Yeah, I must have hit I'm doing well. Glad to see. Welcome the Womack family back to the pod.
Yeah, for sure. You're coming in and out a little bit, Mello, but we heard the gist of what you got going on. But I'll go ahead and get started, man. Chat, hit that like button if you haven't already, and show Bralan and his family some love in the chat there. I just want to get it started, man. We were talking a little bit before the show got started, and as a football fan, as a Buckeye fan, we watch these visits happen, right? We've been following Bralan's visits very closely. We're praying he's a Buckeye, but we'll see there. But to us, it looks so simple, right? We see them show up, we read the articles about when they're there, and then we read their thoughts afterwards, and it's done. But behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes into this. So, is it about time for official visits to be over? Are you excited? And kind of speak on a little bit of how taxing that is, right? Everything that goes into making it to all these visits. Nicole, we'll start with you.
So, yes, we're glad that official visits are over. It's a lot. A lot goes into it, like you said. It's a whole agenda from the time you wake up to the wee hours of the night. You have something to do. Yeah. It's been a blessing, though. Can't complain. But glad to get some much needed rest.
Yeah, for sure. Bralan, how about you, man? Is it about, of course, right? I guess I kind of made it sound all a little bit dark and bad, but it's a huge blessing, a huge part of your life, man. But is it time? Are you glad for it to be over now and ready to make that decision?
Oh yeah, I'm very, very glad that it's over. It was nice, everybody, you seeing the best of it, all four schools, but just it can get tiring, like, traveling on the road. Well, I was on the road for one, but flying all over the country, that can be a little bit of, a problem. It's a good problem to have, don't get me wrong, but just walking through the airport, sitting in the airport, sitting on a plane, connected flights. I work out Monday through Thursday, so Monday through Thursday is workouts, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And it's flights Friday morning, then flying back in Sunday night and doing it over.
Yeah. And that's that mentality. You got to be the number one safety in the nation. Sounds like you don't stop working, man. So sounds like Pops is about to join us. So we'll get to him whenever he settles in and gets in here. But Mello, what you got for Bralan? Looks like Nicole might have.
I was just wondering. What was your favorite part of the experience of the OV season for you? What did you enjoy the most about doing these visits?
Probably the food. Like everything else I've seen before, but the food was you ate every 2 hours, and it was good food. So like that was pretty nice. And then like I mean I hang out with players, but I got to interact with a lot more players. This time with all my official visits. So it was nice.
Yeah. BJ, I want to back up and kind of ask BJ what we asked. Good to see you, brother. Good to have you back on here, by the way. Yeah, appreciate you jumping right on the show and you got back. It means a lot to us. What I asked Nicole and Bralan before is, from a fan standpoint, these official visits seem pretty simple. You show up, you leave, we read about it, done and over. But from behind the scenes, a lot of work goes into it, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of planning, the whole 9 yards. Can you kind of speak to that? You guys a little bit relieved, right, that season is now ended and you're on to the next? It was a huge blessing for that to be a part of this process, but it's got to be taxing, man.
Oh, for sure, most definitely. The recruit, like, think about it. We really had all 4 of ours back to back to back to back, so we never really got a break. So I mean, it has taken a toll. We're so glad we get to take a break. I mean, we've had people contact us about, hey, let's come to this camp. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna let Bralan get some recovery, get ready for school ball with his school and stuff like that. Like I think he needs that. But now we can just really come back home and sit down as a family and really go over like all 4 schools, evaluate them to the T. Now we got the finishing touches on every school. So I think now, yeah, it is a relief.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man. So with these official visits, going into your official visits, right, you guys kind of had an idea of the schools. You had to narrow down the 4. What were things you were really looking to see for all your official visits? Like, do you guys have certain things you were really looking to get some clarification on? Can you guys speak on that?
I'll let Bralan go first.
Um, just seeing how the players and coaches interact. That was one. Another for me was um, the depth chart. Not like not saying I'm worried about playing time. I know if I come in and do what do what I need to do, or do what I know I can do, then playing time it'll come as it should. But the depth chart, you want to know who's leaving out, who's coming in, like what room will you be in when you arrive. So um, that was another thing. Like, who am I going to spend 60 to 70 to 80% of my day with in a room watching film and hanging out with outside of the facilities and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. BJ, how about you?
Me personally, I wanted to see how they wanted to utilize every school. What's your plan on how you're going to utilize Bralan? Like that was number one. Number two, I always sit back and watch like how do they really like how are they with their players? How's the staff is together as a whole? Like you may not see it every day. That's why I'm glad we went to a few unofficials. We went to some practices. Like I really want to see like when I turn my son over to you guys, what kind of hands he gonna be into? Which ultimately, yes, it's his decision, but in my heart, me and my wife gotta have a great feel about the school also. And so that was some things that I kind of sat back and I watched. I observed staff, how they carry themselves. Just like they observed me, I got to observe them. The players, what the locker rooms look like. I mean, you don't really want your son to be, if he's not accustomed to a locker room that's crazy or berserk, I mean, how does he fit in that locker room? Like, it's stuff like that that I think we really looked at, and it really answers some things for us. Like when you look at like, what's the belief? What's the faith? Like, is the head man really believing in what he's saying? Like, it's a lot of stuff that I looked at when I was on campus.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do you guys feel like going on these visits, you got enough information and data to make a solid choice for your son's future to be developed and sent to be an NFL superstar one day? And were boxes checked in order to allow you guys as a family to come together and make the right choice for you guys?
Most certainly, because I mean, behind the scenes, there's more in depth. Uh, there's more in depth research that we're doing. Like we're going back. We're trying to see where this guy coached 10 years ago. Like what his track record is like. Like really asking some people that we know on the college football side, like hey, you ever had any contact with this person? Like, what is he like, or what is she like? Like what are all these people like? And we're checking all that.
Yeah.
But what are the ties to the NFL? We're checking a lot of that.
Yeah.
How long does this coach, like, did this staff look to be in place for the next 2 to 3 years? You see what I'm saying? Does this school have longevity within their staff? That's a lot of things that we're looking at.
Yeah. Bralan, how about you as a player? Were you able to get enough information to feel confident in making that decision for your future?
Most definitely. Just going into my official visits, it was like, my main goal was to make sure I went over and saw all the things that I planned on seeing because this is their last visit. It's all 4 schools' last visit. So I didn't want to leave out one thing for one school and, touch it with another. So that wouldn't be fair and, my opportunity. Like, I would be wrong if I went to Ohio and asked questions differently from what I asked at Auburn because, now I'm getting 2 different outcomes. So, of course, it's going to be, different cons and pros to all of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, with that being said, my question for you, Bralan, is a little more fun. I'm just wondering myself. I think they tend to have players as hosts for you guys when you come on these OVs, and I was wondering who was your host at Ohio State, and what kind of things did you guys partake in while you were there, and did you have a good time?
My host, it was like almost everybody. Like I was, so the main person, my host was actually Deshaun Stewart. Deshaun Stewart.
Yeah.
That was my host, but the person I spent the most time around was Jalen McClain. So just being able to like get around them and ask them questions and hear their point of view from the player side, like how they feel about the school. It was nice. But, like most of the time, we were just chilling. Like we went to Jay house. I'm not really the type to go out, so they went to like a concert, and I was just chilling.
Yeah. All right. I got to ask, Mello kind of led the way diving into the Ohio State official visit. We'll start with the parent side of this. We heard Nicole, unfortunately, a little bit under the weather when she first got there. But BJ, from a parent's perspective, let's hear the food in Columbus, the city of Columbus. Did you like it? Would you feel comfortable leaving your son there? And give us some details, man.
Man, from the time I stepped foot in Columbus, like it was great. It was great. It was it was a great time. Spent a lot of time with Coach G, the staff. We went and hung out. I mean, just the family vibe at the social, like that was key. That was very key. Me having my son in Columbus, for sure, for sure. I mean, I don't feel like we really mingled with a lot of people in Columbus, so you don't really know what the town is really like. But for the most part, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think that a lot of kids, a lot of players are out in the town of Columbus. But I just think everyone is a tight knit right there, and they either football or back to their place of living. But I get it. it's business. Do I feel like I would leave my son there? Most certainly.
Yeah.
Because at some point he has to understand like this is a business decision. This is a business move to get where you want to be long term.
Yeah. No doubt. Braylon, you said one of the favorite parts of your official visit was the food. So what was the food like, man, on your Ohio State official visit? Anything worth talking about?
I'm trying to think of my favorite. What was it? It was those. It's like these muffins. They were like some muffin cornbread things.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were.
You talking about at the Friday night
at the Friday
dinner
night
at the stadium?
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
stadium. It was something that was catered. It was nice.
So you mean to tell me you like that better than Hyde Park?
I didn't go to Hyde Park.
Sure did. My bad. I'm sorry.
God, dude.
We went to Capitol. What's it called? Capitol. It's like a steakhouse.
Cabernets?
Us Capitol something.
Oh.
I can tell you. Exactly.
Dang, BJ, did you go to Hyde Park or something and not take Braylon? Is that what you did?
Oh, I listen. I don't know. Listen,
Hey.
visits. Just go where they tell you to go. Okay. Understood. So I was told I was going to Hyde Park. Bralan Womack was going elsewhere.
We went to
Hey, I know the owner of Hyde Park, man. I've had like lunch with him stuff in Tampa before, so I know the quality of food at Hyde Park. Did you get yourself a steak? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, man. It's serious stuff there. Not trying to rub it in, Braylon, but if you go to Ohio State, you've got to check out Hyde Park. I'm sure your dad will tell you.
the best steak in town is Capitol Grill.
Capitol Grill.
Like the steak was cooked.
You wait till I tell Paul.
Okay, but like it was a lot more tender.
Yeah, good stuff, man. But yeah, so
Braylon, we've had you on several times now, and I know one of your key interests was real estate and getting into real estate. I was wondering, are you still interested in real estate? And if so, were you able to connect with anyone on this trip to talk about your interest into?
No, I didn't. Like really, if I wasn't in meetings, I was with players, so I didn't really do nothing special outside of that. But I'm sure Coach Walton will be able to help me out with that. So
yeah,
it's not nothing it's not nothing I'm just panicking about. Like I know, when the time's right, it will prevail us.
Yeah. I was going to ask you both about the academic side of things. I don't know if, I guess I don't know everything that gets addressed on official visits, but can you remind us what your plans are academically? And then if that got addressed on your official visit, can you kind of speak into that and your thoughts on Ohio State academically from both BJ and yourself, Braylon?
I'm a major in business. So Brandon Ennis, we had a player panel with the players. Brandon Ennis said classes were easy. So I mean, my sister said the classes were easy, so I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, I got you. BJ, what about you, man? What do you think about Ohio State academically, a place?
So they came in, I think it was like the dean of business. He came in and talked. And I can't think of the other guy, but he's a former player at Ohio State. He came in and spoke on business, and they talked a lot about the class structure and like how they send guys down to like different businesses for what is it called?
Mission trip?
No. Come on, boo. When they send you, you're in school, they send you to do a job.
Internship.
Internship, yes.
Yeah.
Went blank. So they send them to do internships and stuff like that. And so when they get out, it's a lot of connection for the players in the world. So not just in Columbus, but in the world within itself. So that was key. That was very key. That they start that not just on down the road, but they kind of started immediately. And they have a plan set for them year one if they have the qualifications.
Yeah. Mello?
So just a question about a couple of questions. One, what did you guys think of Matt Patricia as the DC, seeing how he's a new DC? I'm sure Jim Knowles was the initial DC that was reaching out and recruiting you. And two, when you're assessing a team that you're going to go to, do you look at the other position groups and the players that you're going to be surrounded with and the quality of those players in terms of being able to do their job, which will allow you to do your job better? Does that play a factor in your decision-making process?
You were like cutting out, but like, were you trying to say like will the
Oh, I just wanted to know your thoughts on Matt Patricia, and then also,
I got you, Mello. You're just cutting out a little bit, but
you're making a decision.
I know what he's trying to say. So basically,
yeah,
you know, I think Coach Patricia is a great coach. Of course, he has the resume, but I think that or are you trying to say like, does the players that I'll be going against in practice and the people that I'll be competing against for a spot, will they play a factor in, you know, the competition level?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I'm talking about the players. No, I'm talking about the players that you're surrounded with. So, i.e., if you were on the team right now and you were playing on the side of Caleb Downs, and then you have the Devin Sanchez, Jermaine Matthews, and you're looking at Edric Houston in the front lines, in the front seven, does that factor into your decision making? Because them doing their job right and being talented should, in essence, make your job easier and make you look a lot better.
I feel like it plays a part. It plays a part, but you know, again, like, you know, everywhere majority of the places you will go, SEC, Big Ten, you'll always have, you know, one or two or maybe three guys that are, you know, elite. So, you know, it plays a part. They have a very stout secondary this year, but Caleb won't be there the year I get there. Matthews, he might enter the draft. So you really never know. So I kind of just, not being selfish and focusing on me, but I kind of look at the class above me and my class, because, you know, those are the two crucial classes that I'll be around majority of the time, and the class below me, because, you know, you obviously want to know who's coming in behind you. So I feel like that plays a part. But like I said, everywhere you go, you're going to have stout guys that were recruited the same way you were recruited, guys that maybe they can do something that you can't do as well, so they can sharpen you. I feel like me and Caleb game is, you know, a lot similar. So it kind of just be like two of us out there. It won't be like Lathan Ransom and Caleb Downs, because, you know, those are like two different safeties, and that's why they function so well. So I don't kind of look at that, but that was a great question. Coach Patricia, he's a great coach. I really do believe in him to, you know, of course, get Ohio State back into the playoffs and get them back to the championship. Honestly, I just hope he doesn't do, you know, too well of a job where he goes back to the NFL, because that would.
Yeah.
You know, I wish the best for him. I hope he has a great first year, because, you know, going through everything he went through in the NFL, taking a couple years off and coming back, you know, you try and get your mind right. That can beat you up a little bit. So, you know, I just pray he, you know, can do what everybody hope he can do this year and what we know he can do.
Yeah. along those same lines, man, Ohio State considered wide receiver you. You being a safety. Speak on that a little bit, man. Going up against those receivers every day in practice and whatnot. Is that something that you think about, factors into your decision very much at all?
For sure. A guy that my trainer, he tells me all the time. Um, you rather be privately embarrassed than publicly exposed. So you rather get beat up and exposed, and all the bad things happen Monday through Thursday. So when Sunday and Saturday comes around, the guys you're facing isn't Jeremiah Smith or isn't Carnell Tate or Quincy Porter or Chris Henry or any of those guys, Caden Dixon. So that plays a crucial part as well. You're going to see talent all around the field. You're going to have talent in your room. So like you can't have many off days. You're not going to have a great day every day, but you can't have many off days. You got to have more great days than mediocre days.
Yeah.
And one of my last questions I wanted to ask before we let you go, because I know your family's not feeling too great right now with all the traveling, but what was your opinion of the culture while you were there, and not just with the current team, but with the current commits that were on campus and on their OBs as well? Do you feel like the culture is solid there, or somewhat something you could fit into in terms of being in Columbus at Ohio State?
So all the DBs that I was there with, I'm familiar with. I've known them. We communicate outside of visits. And there, it's just like it's just like the culture there is now. Like some of the guys, like going out to concerts like they did, and then it's people like me and Simeon that might just want to chill. So the culture is still going to be the same with this group of DBs in this class. Of course, Caden Dixon and Chris Henry being teammates. So I mean, this class has kind of already built the chemistry. And heading the way that the culture's already built at Ohio State.
Yeah. And BJ, for you, along those same lines, doing this show, me and Mello have been privileged to talk to a lot of Ohio State parents. So were you able to connect with any of the current commits or any players from there? And what was your vibe of the overall culture there at Ohio State while you were there?
We did connect with one parent whose son was just recently drafted. The culture's great. The culture's great. Even with talking with, I hung out with Stacy Bradford a lot, probably more than I should have. But we hung out. Man, just getting to know that guy. Matter of fact, he probably didn't text me. He probably didn't text me all 3 days, Sunday, Monday, and today. Man, let's get the deal done. So we have a connection dating back. We ran into each other at a previous school, and we were just talking about that on the trip. But, like, he really wants this deal to get done. Like,
yeah,
he's one of those parents that's like he's really pushing it. Even had a chance to even sit with the Caldwells. They really want it done. They want their son to play with elite-minded kids as well as we do. So,
yeah.
That being said, man, they're all blowing me up every day. Every day.
Yeah.
They're like having a conversation with Stacy, it was like the culture at other schools didn't fit my son. I feel the same way. The culture at other schools don't fit my son. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I got you, man. Like Mello said, I know you guys. You just been running nonstop here lately. Feeling a little under the weather. So I just got one more question for you. Mello probably has a final statement here, but obviously you've been on here a couple times. We've talked to you. The national media has always thought that Ohio State was kind of the favorite in this recruitment. You guys, Ohio State's always been top of the board, on top of the board. Did this official visit change anything? Did it affect, did they move the needle a little bit? And where would you guys be comfortable saying Ohio State stands right now?
Like I said, they couldn't have done anything better. Like they did everything they could.
The only thing, like their visit was great. I mean, Ohio State visit was great. The only thing that I could say messed it up was that it was the last one, and all three of us were tired. We didn't really want to hang out, well, not hang out. Like, we want to be around the people and the recruits, but when it came time for the Sunday, I was in my hotel room going to sleep.
Yeah.
That was, but people are tired, but you just gotta look at the meetings, the people that are there. You gotta look at the bigger picture. But I can say other schools did open my eyes to a lot of things too. So I think it's gonna be interesting to July and August, but I feel good about Ohio State.
Yeah. Nice. BJ, how about you from a parent standpoint?
It's like him.
Yeah.
I mean, I really and truly hate that it was the last weekend. We was kind of exhausted, but I will say this: you can ask anybody back in Columbus on the staff. I did what I had to do. I hung out wee hours of the night, wee hours of the morning. But it was a little tiresome. I think the visit went great. The visit went great. I don't think they should have changed anything. It's just the timing. Maybe we should have possibly took a break in between that visit, but it was the time.
Yeah. Makes sense. You guys were all over the country. That does have to wear you out. Mello, you got any final statements for the Womacks?
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you guys coming on, BJ. I love that we could communicate offline, especially both of us being military guys. I wish you guys the best, and I can't wait to see you guys in some scarlet and gray. I'm projecting it and speaking it into existence right now. We're about to have the best secondary, the best safety class in the history of college football. You heard it first on the Buckeye Boys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're thrilled you guys joined us. It was nice talking to y'all. We'll obviously stay in touch and be full eyes on his commitment on commitment day. Praying he's a Buckeye. We'll see the decision. Excited to hear it. But it's an honor talking to y'all. Appreciate you guys taking out the time to join us.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All righty. Go Bucks OH.
Go Bucks.
I.O.
Yes, sir. Well, good stuff,
Yeah,
Mello.
buddy.
I mean, nothing too surprising other than what we already knew. There's always that age-old question. Everybody assumes that the last official visit is the best official visit. Well, you just heard one of these things. You just heard right here directly from the source. That wasn't the case here. Not anything Ohio State did, but families wore out. I've done some traveling in my day. I know how much it takes out of you. And to be, just everybody in the chat, you guys know, man, when you're wore out and you're at an event or something, it kind of takes away from it a little bit. But I think Ohio State did a well enough job before that and during that visit, the best that they could. I still really like our chances.
Absolutely. This kid's a Buckeye through and through. Everything that he's looking for, everything his family's looking for, is all resides in Columbus. So, as long as they gave him a competitive or offer him a competitive NIL package, I do believe he will be donning that scarlet and gray. I think he fits the culture perfectly, and he doesn't have to go out and go to a concert and go see Little Baby like everybody else did. He could go ahead and chill in his room. I kind of like that. You got to have different personalities for the culture to thrive. He might be the leader that, like, he's always watching film. So when guys have questions, they know, like, oh, man, I know you watch film. Can you break down this play? Can you help me here? Can you help me there? So everybody brings a different element. The main thing about the culture is that they're brothers. They look out for each other, and they stay out of trouble off the field. That is the main thing.
Yeah, and listen, we know nil is a factor in all recruitments anymore. That's not something we really ask on a live stream. That's not the business you want to ask parents and recruits during a live stream. We'll never do it. If they want to have that conversation with us after, before something, we'll listen and we'll repeat any information that we feel is worth repeating, or that they'll give us the blessing to repeat. But that's going to be a factor here. A lot of things are, going to be up in the air in terms of that with the cap and with these new rules, and some schools are going to be suing and whatnot. But I know Ohio State thinks very highly of Bralan Womack. And, we checked a huge box, and that's, if I had to guess, I mean, every time we've talked to BJ and Nicole, they absolutely love Ohio State. So the parents 100% give that blessing, like, hey, look, go be a Buckeye. You know what I'm saying? But there's all types of factors that go into this decision. It's not just where the parents want their kid to go to school at. But you heard it, man. His dad is very comfortable with the culture here. He stated the culture at Ohio State's it's just different than the culture of the other schools in the nation. It just is. And you have to be a very particular recruit, a very particular person, right, to fall into that. Ryan Day said, Ohio State's not for everybody, man. If you're coming here to make money, this is not the place for you. So, I mean, all our conversation with the Womack family, nothing but good vibes, nothing but love for Ohio State. They'll make the decision that's best for those. But I mean, my confidence level has not changed on whether or not I think Bralan Womack is a Buckeye. I do. I think he's a Buckeye, and I think he'll make that decision. But, a lot of things are going to happen between now and then in August when he makes his decision. So, Mello, you got anything to add? You got to get off here. I got a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Do you want to stick around? Do you got to go? What's going on with you?
Man, I'll stick around, but if my service, because of where I'm driving, goes in and out, I'm just going to hop off.
Yeah, it's just real fast, man. I just want to mention, man, the Rivals 5-star camp was going on 3 Rivals 5-star camp, whatever you want to talk about it. Kari Wilder, 200 ranked player in the nation. I don't even know, way underranked, won the defensive MVP of the Rivals camp. Shoot, man, go watch the videos from that. It doesn't mean a whole lot in that camp setting. You know what I mean? The one-on-ones with tackles and stuff. But I'm telling you something right now. He's one of the top defensive linemen in the nation. The Buckeyes, I mean, they struck gold with this one. I mean, the Buckeyes look at Kari Wilder like he will be able to contribute as a freshman. Like, that's the level of player that they see him as. And I think he's going to stick at defensive end. A lot of people are talking about where he's going to end up, man. He's changed his body, and he's looking like a very good defensive lineman. And then Sam Greer, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Go watch his videos from that. Yeah, dude.
That's my favorite O-lineman in the country.
Yeah, man. He's he's a beast. And obviously you can't look at a lot of people. Felix Ojo was in a lot of these video clips of these defensive ends beating him. Dude, those drills, I mean, yeah, we'll use it to say how good Kari Wilder is. Go watch his film, right? Take out this camp. Go watch his film. He's one of the best in the nation. But, I mean, the one-on-one drill they use, you got defensive ends, like, going all the way down to the inside, right smack dab where all the guards are going to be and beating these people. So, right, I mean, Felix Ojo is still one of the best tackles in the nation, but so is Sam Greer. Sam Greer's on that level. Like, it just goes to show you, we get so caught up in rankings and numbers, and the truth of the matter is like, if you're in the top 200, top 300, the differences in those recruits, the difference between a 5-star and a high 4-star, dude, it's so minimal, man. It really is. And I think we get caught up in that too much, man. A number 10 defensive end versus a number 15 defensive end in the nation. That might be 200 spots nationally, right? But it's only one spot in the defensive end. And the difference there is literally one dude's opinion that decided to rank him over. It doesn't mean anything about what they're going to put on the, on the field. So.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just get excited when we talk about Sam Greer. Like, he's just a monster. And then Kari Wilder, it doesn't, for me, this is where I'm at, right? Ohio State's trying to recruit players that can play multiple positions anyway. So I don't care if they use him as a 3 tech or a 5. It doesn't matter to me. Like, as long as he's on the D line, I think he's going to excel. If they want to use him as a 3 tech, they're going to get him good with Coach Mick. He's going to gain that good weight, and he'll be elite there. If they want him to stay at DN or to play defensive end, then they're still going to get him with Coach Mick, and he's still going to be elite. So for me, I don't care. Just get them in the class, and then let's go ahead and see how they develop their 18, 17-year-old kids. Their body's going to change a lot from 18 to 20.
Yeah. That's kind of all I got, on the Ohio State front. We're not going to be talking about anything else on this channel. All we got is love for people out there and prayers for people out there. So I see the chat. Everybody wants to talk about stuff. We're an Ohio State football channel, man. That's what we're going to talk about. We got nothing but love for people out there. Everybody has their own life, their own things, their own motives, all that. That's them. They can do what they do, but we got nothing but love for people here, man. This is an Ohio State football channel. That's what we're going to talk about here moving forward. It will be nothing else talked about on this channel. We love our Buckeyes, dude. And let me tell you something, The LJ haters out there, I understand, right? From the background, right? If you're just your average friend, you read message boards and stuff like that, I will tell you that the stuff being put out is not true, right? If you're getting your LJ information based off of what you're reading on message boards and what you're reading on these articles about where we're at with recruits and who we're going to land, the only thing I'll ask is wait till the end. Wait till you see what he does here. He's got Kari Wilder in the mix. We're in the mix for a lot of big-time, defensive linemen. And watch what he puts on the field this year. So, like I said before, there are things that I don't agree with that's going on with the defensive line recruiting, but I'm not the best defensive line coach in the nation. So I will refer to him and the Ohio State staff for what they do. I trust them. So, Mello, you got anything to add to that?
Oh, yeah, LJ is the GOAT. You got to understand, it's not that LJ is a bad recruiter. They're playing with teams that want to sue about this new settlement, that are willing to throw astronomical numbers at these kids. And Ohio State just is not going to do that. They're not. They're not going to have a kid come in making more money than a starter straight out of high school. Is just not intelligent, to be honest with you. As a CEO and as a business owner, I know some of you guys are business owners that watch this show. Would you pay a kid fresh out of college more money than someone that's proven to make you money and is a true earner in real life? It will upset the culture, will upset the room. And guess what? Now you're going to have to pay that other guy even more money, so that way he's still the top dog. Otherwise, he's going to be out looking for a new job. And that's what we're preventing. The culture is the strongest in the country. 0 scholarship transfer portal players in the spring. Think about that. There's only one way that you do that. Having a strong culture and paying people their fair value.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, whether you agree, disagree, hate, dislike, love LJ, hey, well, there's one common denominator here. We're all Buckeyes. We all root for the same team. We all got our struggles in life. So we're going to stick together with you guys, man. We root for the Buckeyes, dude. That's why we're here. A program that is raising men the correct way. We need that in this world. There are a lot of dark things going on, and any men that can be raised the correct way to be leaders of other young men, hey, we love it. So, I love seeing it from the Ohio State football program. And got some big-time stuff going on right here on the Buckeye Boys channel. We are having Ronaldo Perez, a 4-star defensive lineman out of the state of Ohio, will be joining us tomorrow. He's going to be a top 100 player, in my opinion. I watched his film. He camped at the Buckeyes, got that offer. Hopefully he's going to be a Buckeye. Then we got Brady Edmonds coming on Thursday. I'm taking off tomorrow. I'll be at the SFE alumni dinner, as well as watching the 7-on-7 Nationals this weekend in Miami. I'll be there, but I'm bringing my stuff, right? So we can do our shows at night and do these interviews. So we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Nothing but love and respect here. Go Buckeyes, baby. OH.
I-O.
Yeah, baby. Hey, Chip Kelly.